Hi, and welcome to this second episode in the playground, the brand new What Are You playground. So, if you haven't seen the intro, I would ask you to start looking at the introduction so you get an overview. Because in this episode, we will go straight into AI harvesting and getting product data out of PDF files, text files, images, and URLs. So there's a couple of different things we need to understand first. So if you have a look in a database like What.io for DPPs, you have products, which is like the main holder of the digital product passport. You have sub products and sub components, and they are often mentioned as parts, but that's also where components exist if you want to have an active spare part management. And then you also have a material library, and that is also to enable you to attach material definitions and having upstream custom materials attached to your DPP. So to start this demo, I'm going to start with Bernard, because Bernard is actually capable of building products and parts and materials straight out of the chat. So I added a couple of examples here already, and of course feel free to try those. But basically what you write is you say generate a catalog of M4 screws, and of course we can change anything here, any standard we want to use. And let's say I want to have M8 instead, and I want to do it with 10 millimeters increment. I don't want as many as he asked me for. So we just send this to the AI. So generate a catalog of M8 D1 2. So what he's doing now, he's actually boosting up everything. So, oh sorry, we need to be there. So we might please add to AI parts. Maybe he understands that. That was a little bit bad for me. Okay, so now he's writing the parametric JSON. So this is a fully parametric JSON file, and I was a little bit unclear. It's good actually to have the window open when you do this. So now he's built three components for us: M810, M820, M830. Just what I asked for. We can of course also copy if we have any kind of preview image. We can put that. We can also add what kind of material it is on these. And obviously that's something we can do. We can also commit to database. That means that all three will go straight into the What.io part database. Or let's say I only want to have this one. Then it opens up, second chance to add a part image. We can also add a URL link if we have that, change the material. This is also how actually the manufacturing method is made, and some text and AI descriptions and things like that. But for now on, we will just save it. So let's go back to our part database, and you will see that here we have MS. There is actually no preview picture on this one. We can inspect it, and that's how easy it is to actually create a part straight from the AI interface. So that's one way of doing it. You can also do products from here. You can do materials by defining it in text, basically. Next part we will do, I wanted to start using our custom agentic AI tools instead of using Bernard. So I will just switch off Bernard for a moment, and let's start with products. So the agentic AI is made in a way where you need to feed the AI with information about your product. So this is for you content managers, especially when you have probably a lot of unstructured data. Maybe you don't have a PDM, PLM system or PIM system, or at least it's very unstructured. This is a very quick way of getting started with DPPs. So what I will do, I will use my friend that runs RA Optics. I will use his product. So let's say we want to create a digital product passport for this one, and that will actually create a full-fledged product in our database in What.io. So the easiest is to basically copy the URL, and actually that is more or less enough to do in this case. So we don't need to add any more PDFs or images. This will be enough for the AI to figure this out. And now it runs its logic. and after a little while we will come up with a suggestion. And yeah, RA optics is where it should be. We could also add a little nice product image. That's always good. So we grab this one and we say copy, and we just add it here, and then we say add. Okay, so we can double check the product name is correct. We got a product number, we got a correct category. Little bit it found the correct materials, and it's kind of found that. And that's also something you can do before you start doing products. You can let the AI harvesting do the materials first. That makes it a little bit easier, of course. Otherwise you have to change things. Otherwise it didn't find a GTIN number. This is often the case in Shopify sites that they either don't have a GTIN or it's hidden. There is a buy link back, so if you want to buy these glasses, you can with this link, and then description, everything. So it's not a full-fledged every parameter, every data field DPP, but it's at least a start. So we committed to the database, and yeah, let's go in and quickly have a look. So we go to the product site, and here we are. So now we can, of course, we can check the DPP itself. We can check how it looks like. We can check the JSON file and so on. So that was how quick it is to actually create a DPP. So yeah, just open the DPP and you see here it is with descriptions. It has all the material data, recycling information from the materials, emails, and everything for this particular customer. So that was how easy that was to do. Another way of doing it, let's change over to some other product. Let's take this JC Blue Sync. I will show you another way of doing it. And it's sometimes better, sometimes not, but there's also a way to actually go in and take a screenshot. So if you don't even have information, you can actually take a screenshot like this, and you can let the AI work from screenshots actually. So we go back and say products, we want to forge them. We don't add now a URL, we take this picture. I run some more information about, maybe we take another picture too, and we do another screenshot like this. So you can add a couple of screenshots just to have enough information here. Sorry, paste. Okay, and now let's run it. So now it's analyzing the images, it's looking for descriptions, it's looking for GTIN number, any kind of product data that would fit into the DPP. So it's here. We will put it in RA optics. I do want to have this beautiful, and it doesn't extract the product images yet. That's something we probably will work on. So we will actually add them here to this one. So I copied it. When I add, I can see them. So there was no SKU number now. So it didn't really manage to do that. So just for the sake of it, I put in something just so it will go through. You need to have a product number. You see the red asterisk, you need to have that. It found out the correct materials. It didn't find a GTIN number either, and it couldn't find the link. So because the link wasn't visible. So of course now I need to go and copy and add the link afterwards. So of course a URL is better. It's of course. So we confirm and save. So, but you see, you can actually do it from images, from screenshots. A PDF would be even better, because PDF would be text and images, and in a very easy way. So, sorry, that's how you could build product DPPs very, very quickly. Okay, so let's do this a little bit more advanced. You see also there is an add category actually. So if you want to add a new category, sub-brand, a sub thing, you can easily create it here. You don't need to go to the What.io back office. You have all the necessary fields to create another category here. You don't use any harvesting to do that. I don't think that's necessary at the moment. The same with materials. Materials work the same way. So you can actually just have a material database or a PDF or a material data sheet, and it creates the material based on that information. So let's do some parts. So with parts, it's a little bit different because parts, as you saw with the screws, it's very often a lot of parts and they are parametric and a little bit more complex. So in this example, I will use the beautiful McMaster car database. And here we can, of course, find all the huge, massive variations of different parts. And when I use with parts, I often put both the URL and the screenshot just to help the system understand the variations. But in my case, I want to have the M6 and I want to have all the different variations into my database. So what I do is I copy the URL, same as we did with products. And now I also would like to do a screenshot. So I do a screenshot of this one. I copy. Good. And then I can also add here. So I can tell the AI a little bit more information if I don't want to have all the variations or I want to have multiples or other things. I can actually make variational prompts up here. But right now we don't go into that. We do Forge. And now it looks both in the source URL and it looks into the screenshot we created. And it has to work a little bit more now because it was quite some parts to create. And it's now going through and analyzing both the screenshot and the URL. So just hang tight. And here we are. So you see now it created the M6 by 10, by 12, 16, 20, 25, etc. It also found the correct material. And just to make this appropriate, I will just take a little product or actually part image. These are not visible later in the DPPs because these are like daughter component substructures in a DPP or in a product assembly anyway. So we can say add, either I commit all of them to the database and they'll all be pushed to the Watayo parts database, or I can go in and modify them on individual basis. And packages of 50, this one actually weighs 0.5. Version 1 is our version. Here is the buy link back to the amazing McMaster catalog, material, descriptions, etc. And now we confirm and save. It's committed. So you see, I can continue now and add more if I want to. Or in this case, we go back and simply say that, okay, here is our wonderful part. And of course, this can now be linked into hundreds of different DPPs or products as it would be in any CAD system, PDM, PLM system. We can also inspect it and you can see this is what there is. And there is, of course, a link back to McMaster because that was the source. So always allow the source to be loyal to the source. And that's basically it. Material works the same way. And we think this is pretty amazing. We are very proud of this new agentic AI system for harvesting. So yeah, I hope you will like it. Thank you very much.